Morning, YouTube. Well, today I'm visiting EBR-1, the Atomic Museum. This is the Idaho National Laboratory, and this is the home of the modern nuclear Navy, among other things. Morning, YouTube. Well, today I am at EBR-1, world's first nuclear power plant, and unfortunately, when I got here, they told me that they had a massive power outage, and so no power inside the main building, but I can get into the displays, the historic display part. So let's go take a look. All right, the flickering lights are because they had a massive power outage. And this is all that's working right now. So hopefully it doesn't mess up the video too much. I can't get inside the actual building because all of those lights are off. Step in the door, it's just pitch black. There's no way I'm gonna wander around. And they said it's gonna be a few hours. So fortunately I'm not gonna be able to get in there and take a look, but this is pretty cool. So as I said in the beginning, this is the actual site of, was it EBR? EBR-1, which was the first nuclear power plant to produce electricity. Okay, so EBR-1 is a breeder reactor. So not only producing electricity using uranium, but it would breed plutonium, more fuel, and was a super success as far as proving that it would be able to feed itself. From that success, they went on to build EBR-2, which is on a bigger scale, and it basically revolved around the fuel cycle. You know, you get it going and keep it going. So, sort of a mock-up of a control room, and the for the EBR-2, and they were able to. It was a small-scale pilot plant, and in beginning in 1969, it produced 20 megawatts of electricity and provided 30 to 50% of the power for the National Laboratories needs for the next 30 years. This is an actual size depiction of the core of the reactor, 14 inches high, 20 inches across. Not that big. I mean, this is a representation of that. And these were the actual fuel pin bundles. So when you think nuclear power, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Most people, oh, Chernobyl. This is not that kind of plant. It's a very bad design, which is why it was able, when it started to, systems were failing, it overheated, basically melt down. Oh wait, what about 3 Mile Island? That happened in this country. We learned a lot from that as far as control, and in actual fact, this design, EBR-2, was designed to shut itself down using the properties of the fuel and the coolant, that even without humans doing anything, if it gets too hot, it shuts itself down. So very safe. It breeds its own fuel. So very little, if anything, needs to be disposed of. And nuclear power is using this kind of design is very safe. Ultimate renewable energy is that, you know, it feeds itself. So. Okay, so behind me are two test setups for atomic powered jet engines, number 1, number 2. They would have been configured different for actually being on the plane. Over here is a lead covered locomotive which would have moved these things around, but eventually would have moved the plane in and out of the hangar. They built the hangar, it's about 30 miles away. The biggest concrete Quonset basically. It's still there, but they're using that as a manufacturing facility for depleted uranium armor for tanks. Anyway, they worked on this in the 50s, spent over $1 billion, and General Doolittle recommended to Eisenhower that they stop the program, that it wasn't practical. He didn't, but when Kennedy came in, one of the first things he did was shut the program down immediately. By that time, the technology of the regular jets had got to the point where they were doing what they think they would be able to do with this. So pretty cool though. All right, well, that's the end of my tour, such as it was. If I ever get back this way and the power's on, I'll go check it out again. But for now, I'm going to back on the road, and I'll see you later, YouTube.